You are listening to the Purdue Report with Jake Dunn, only on the Central Indiana Sports Report. Welcome back, Boilermaker fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report for this week's Purdue Report with Jake Dunn, where we mostly talk men's basketball and football, and this week will be mostly basketball. Jake might talk a little bit of football at the end, but first we're going to talk about our number two Purdue Boilermakers. What's up with that?
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know if all the AP voters were aware that Trey Kaufman-Renn was not playing in both of their games so far this year. Kind of a questionable decision, but at least now we can say that we're not going into this game ranked number one. And if Purdue loses, then I guess that's, we're not the top ranked team in the country getting knocked off. So hopefully that'll kind of fire the guys up, and they'll come ready to play here on Thursday.
Okay, so you've seen the poll, and it just makes no sense that Purdue got twice as many first place votes as Houston. That means that a lot of voters are having Purdue, I'm assuming, outside the top 5, outside the top 10, not ranking them. Something's going on to make that math happen, and it doesn't make any sense. Purdue, by the way, still is number one in the coaches poll by 3 points over Houston, despite having 3 times as many first place votes.
In the AP poll, Purdue's 3 points behind Houston for number one. So it's kind of funny that's the difference on both sides. It must mean there's some big disparity between the two programs in terms of like where the voters have ranked them. So I think there's a place online where you can go and like view all of the AP voters. You can see all their polls, and you can kind of see like where teams ranked for every voter. I probably should have went and looked at that, but I kind of just remembered that.
I can deduce what happened here, Jake, and that's a bunch of ignorant voters happened.
Yeah,
in both polls, but especially in the AP poll. All right, Jake, we assume that happened because Purdue was less than overly impressive against Oakland, although at times you saw flashes of why they're the best team in the country coming into the season and expected to be a national contender. But 87-77, I think they trailed at halftime, trailed at points of the second half. But in the end, clearly the better of the two teams. I think what it did to me, Jake, is take my confidence in this team from a 98 to a 91, something like that, especially with the talent you see elsewhere across the country. But doesn't seem, I don't know how you would vote them outside of the top 5. Come on.
I think it did kind of drop my confidence level a little bit. But again, we got to keep in mind that, Purdue's missing their All-American, forward. And he's a very integral part of this offense. So, he was the leading scorer last year for this team. So, you take out your leading scorer, obviously you're going to see a drop off in production. So, I still think Purdue is going to be very good. So hopefully we'll get Trey Kaufman-Renn back here for Alabama on Thursday, and Purdue can come out and prove why they should be number one again.
We talked a little bit about it after Friday's game on a podcast reacting to the Purdue football loss to Ohio State, but let's do it here on the Purdue Report as well. Jake, what did you like in particular about Friday's performance against Oakland, and what concerned you?
Braden Smith, he looked really good. He took over the game. He had 20 points. Had 7 rebounds and 9 assists, so pretty close to a 20-point triple double, which is kind of something he's been searching for his whole career. Is getting that triple double. Oakland threw a 1-3-1 zone that did kind of give Purdue a little bit of trouble, but ultimately they were able to come over that. And Braden Smith in particular hit a deep 3 kind of late in the game to kind of seal it for Purdue. But I think it kind of spoke a lot about Braden's leadership and poise under pressure um, in a game where the team's kind of struggling in the first half. They were 5 of 20 from three, so when you're not hitting your shots, you really kind of need another spark to get you going, and that's exactly what Braden Smith brought to the table. Oscar Clough as well kind of had a coming out party. He had finished with 14 points on 5 of 6 from the floor, had 9 rebounds and 4 block shots. Also didn't have a single turnover in 29 minutes he played. So
a lot more comfortable than the exhibition against Kentucky and in the Evansville game.
Yeah, completely agree. And I think he's going to continue to get more comfortable in this offense and really start to show us why he was the best, if not one of the best players in the portal this past offseason. So I think he and the team knows that their rebounding needs to be better. I think Oscar Clough even said in the post game, I said our rebounding has been very average. We got a long way to go, and I think it's definitely true. Yeah. So definitely some
Especially
long rebounds.
The defensive boards keeping the other team from getting second chances has been pretty bad.
Yeah. Purdue's defensive rebounding percentage dipped to 68% on the season. So before this game, so I guess really the Evansville game, it was 73.5%. So Purdue got out rebounded by 2, and at halftime Oakland had a 10 rebound advantage. So obviously you play a team like Alabama where a little more skill, a little more talent, that can really come back to hurt you. So gotta get that cleaned up here before the trip to Tuscaloosa. CJ Cox played really well. Finished with 14 points. Had a pretty big 3 late in the game, and didn't commit a turnover, which is a great. Kind of showed some good poise from him. Showed unselfishness.
Just 5 as a team, right? Just 5 turnovers as a team.
Really good showing from the team, taking care of the ball. Again, playing talented teams, you got to be able to take care of the ball. So glad that we've kind of seen an improvement there. Thought he had a really solid game. Liam Murphy, Jack Benner, both had pretty good games. Both hit 3 threes. They got better in the second half shooting. They finished 13 of 35, which is basically 37%. Had an assist to turnover ratio of plus 4.4. So really good ratio there. 18 points off turnovers and 7 blocks in this game. So that was 12% of last year's total already in just the first 2 games. Looking like a much better interior defensive team, but just got to keep in mind the kind of skill level of the opponents that Purdue's played so far this year.
Jake, anything besides the rebounding, and in particular the defensive rebounding, that concerned you from less than A+ performance on Friday?
Purdue still got a little left to be desired on the defensive end. KenPom has them ranked as the 46th best defense in the nation. I know it's only been through 2 games, and you're missing TKR. But that's just not good enough to win a national championship. So got to get better at containing the dribble. It starts with the guards, taking pride in their defense. Still, Oakland scored 40 points in the paint in that game. So although they did have 7 block shots, Purdue still allowed 40 points in the paint. And again, it's a lot easier to keep a lot easier to not allow points in the paint if you don't allow the players in the paint. So it starts with dribble containment there. Purdue had kind of some closeouts that were a little slow, particularly in the first half. But
yes,
again, I think they're going to have a higher energy and be a little more balanced here in the game against Alabama. So be interested to see kind of what Vegas thinks about the game. I would imagine they'd have Alabama favored slightly, especially since don't fully know the status of TKR. Yeah, it be Purdue's first real test that actually matters. Obviously, Kentucky was a test, but the game didn't necessarily matter in terms of the record. But it's exactly what Matt Painter wants a really good opponent on the road. Get this team more experience in these hostile environments, get them ready for conference play, and really be able to kind of build up a resume to look good in March.
Jake, let's preview that coming right up. Jake, before Thursday's game at Alabama, we're going to know a little more about Oakland and how good they are because they go to Houston on Wednesday. Also, I saw Arkansas play earlier this week, and I had a thought that if Arkansas is not good now, no chance they're going to be good in March because John Calipari is not known for coaching up a good team. But here's one thing I know about Purdue. No matter what happens on Thursday, Jake, Matt Painter's going to get the most out of this team by the end of the season, and they're going to improve because history has shown that his teams are going to improve.
Yeah, completely agree. I think Purdue is a team, for the most part, Purdue's teams get better as the season goes along. I'm confident that, to your point, regardless of what happens, that Purdue will use this to get better, and they're going to peak at the right time in March. Excited for the game on Thursday I think Purdue's the more complete team. Alabama might be a little more talented in terms of stars and potential and being explosive, but they are dealing with some injuries and should be a fun high tempo kind of a guard battle with Purdue's half court and Purdue's half court execution against Alabama and their creation and athleticism. So get to really see why people thought Purdue was the number one ranked team in the nation.
Like you mentioned, hostile environment. It's a team averaging almost 100 points per game. They just scored 103 against Rick Pitino's fifth-ranked Red John Storm. No question they can score points. Forgive me if I have a feeling that Purdue's just a better team and is going to win this game. By the way, Jake, ESPN Analytics has Alabama a 60.3% chance of winning this game.
Wow, I'm kind of surprised it's that high. I wonder if they have Trakoff and Wren playing in that projection or not. But I'd say it's a little closer to 50-50. Probably give a slight edge to Alabama just because it's on their court. I would. I think Alabama was going to be favored for this game.
It really comes down to, besides the three that we know what we're going to get, assuming Kaufman-Wren plays, the other guys, how well they play, how well they handle it, how well they mesh by now. And I'd give a slight edge to Alabama. I'd make them a slight favorite, but I believe Purdue's going to win this game.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I think Alabama is going to try to push the ball and create some early offense, get some opportunities for some easy buckets, and really test Purdue's transition defense. So it's a lot. See, rebounding, as we've talked about, is going to be really, really crucial. Purdue's going to want to run a little bit, probably be a little slower than Alabama, and really just use their half court sets to really just let Braden Smith orchestrate. I mean, really, and want to get consistent looks for their shooters, Fletcher Lawyer, C.J. Cox, Shakar Harris, Jack Benner. So if Purdue is going to be forced by Alabama to run in transition, I think that's really where they can flip the script. But in the half court, definitely Purdue has the advantage there.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely has a huge size advantage. Alabama has some big guys on their team, not many in the rotation, mostly 6'10" and under, 6'9", is among their big guys, so Purdue might have an advantage there. Also, I'm not so sure they won't have the advantage in the backcourt as well because they have a guy named Braden Smith.
Again, rebounding going to be a big key here. I know I sound like a broken record, but
We might
preventing
sound
those
like a
second
broken
chance.
record all year.
Yeah. Rebounds, defense, and turnovers are really going to be the story all year for Purdue. And being able to make three, hitting your open shots, hitting the looks that they're giving you. After, don't want to jinx anything, but after Purdue's performance against Oakland, I think they'll be a little more ready to go here against Alabama. I think they'll have a little more success from beyond the arc.
Jake, in the win over St. John's, Alabama had 81 shots from the field. If they get 81 shots from the field on Thursday night, we might be in big trouble. I'm not so sure Purdue couldn't win a track meet, but that's definitely not what you want. What's your prediction of what's going to happen? Give me a score, too.
It's really going to come down to rebounding here. I think Alabama does definitely have some shot makers. Watch a little bit of that St. John's game and making it some tough shots. So I think defense going to be key, especially guards and defending the 3-point line. Alabama basically only takes threes or shots at the rim, so going to have to kind of run them off the line there while also not letting up too many points in the paint. So if Purdue can't rebound, Alabama's just going to run in transition, really cause some problems. I think for a score, I think I'm going to go Alabama 75, Purdue 70.
I think it's going to be higher scoring than that, and Purdue's going to win, and it's going to be 90-83. Jake, take it to the bank.
Okay. Sounds good. I hope you're right.
Jake and I will be back on Friday to preview the Purdue game at Washington. Jake, there is some Purdue football news.
Yeah, Purdue just hired Butler Benton to be the executive director of player personnel. So he's a guy that Barry Odom knows well. Barry Odom worked with Benton at Arkansas, where they went on to go 16-10, and as well as signing back-to-back top 30 classes. Benton then went to work for Notre Dame. He's also been at UCLA, which is where he came from. Also worked at Michigan State as well. So he's a well-traveled and well-respected figure in the industry. And I think ultimately it'll be a good development here for Purdue and their front office, so to speak, in college football. So should have a say in kind of what Purdue's roster is going to look like from a retention standpoint, as well as who they go after in the portal. So he's had success with Coach Odom in the past, so hopefully that can stay true, and Purdue can get some solid guys in the portal here in January.
Jake, thanks so much. I said we'll next talk on Friday. That's not true. We will talk on Thursday after the Purdue-Alabama game and react to a Boilermaker victory. Boiler up, Jake.
Yeah, sounds good. Boiler up. And it should be a great game here on Thursday.
I did make a mistake there saying that we would be back on Friday. We will actually be back on Thursday night. Jake and I to react to Purdue's huge game down in Tuscaloosa. Thanks so much to Jake for joining me, and thank you for listening. Always appreciate it. Please do us a huge favor. Share this podcast with a Purdue fan in your life and help spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is here, talking about Central Indiana sports every single day. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.